What's good, y'all? I'm your host, Adam, and this is the Tier List, a video game podcast. It's a seasonal video game podcast where a guest brings a game for the titular tier list. We talk about it, rank it, but you, the audience, that's everyone out there listening or watching, gets a say in where it places on that tier list at the end of the season. So make sure to listen. Tell me how you feel about this particular video game we're talking about today. This is Season 1, Episode 2, and my guest today is a Southern belle, my favorite person who lives in that particular state in the South. It's Jerica. What's going on, Jerica?
Yippee-ki-yay. Not much. I'm so excited to be here.
Tell everyone about yourself. What if someone's like, who is this Southern lass? Tell everyone about what you do.
Southern lass.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to add that to my title now. Anytime I'm introduced. Jerica, the Southern lass. That's just it. That's perfect. Hi, I'm Jerica. I'm one of the hosts of JK Games podcast, where me and Kayla, I almost combined her with another friend that I don't do podcasting with for some reason. Her name's Haley, but I don't do podcasting with her. I don't know why I just combined Kayla and Haley's name. It's me, Kayla, and now sort of Josh. We have an extra in there. He's helping produce the show and pretty much chiming in on every episode. But all three of us gather every Monday night, and we have had a show for, well over 5 years now, which is crazy to think about. But this year we've transitioned to a video game book club style show. Similar to this, where we just sort of highlight some of our favorite games and also highlight these weird niche indie games that you maybe played like 10 years ago or came out this year, but no one's playing it. So we're just always looking for something that maybe not a lot of people are playing and play it. And hopefully when you join us, we can pretend it's like a true book club, which it's funny that we call it a book club because there's no books involved.
I don't know where it came from.
It's a video game club.
Yeah.
Why don't we just call it that?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't know.
Jerica, again, shout out to JK Games. It's good stuff. What game did you bring for us to talk about today?
I have been waiting for a moment. This hasn't even happened on JK Games because none of my co-hosts have played this game.
Bad taste.
I know, it's Inscryption. I finally get to talk about Inscryption today, and I can't wait. Oh my God.
Inscryption's good stuff. We're going to talk all about it. All right, so some quick plugs to get out of the way. You can go to patreon.com/thetierlist. There's a free tier there where you can vote on the games, be able to affect the list at the end of the season. Also support if you can, if you've got a couple of bucks to throw my way. So make sure to sub and review on podcast services. Follow us all on socials at Adam Gumby or Tier List Gaming. Sub on youtube.com/Adam Gumby so you get that notification whenever a new episode is out. All these links, as well as the guest info, are in the description of this episode, along with a link to a straw poll for another place for you to vote where you think this game deserves on the list. There's voting all over the place, Jerica. I'm just throwing them votes all the way out so everyone get in on it.
I just got a text about voting and putting together something. And
Did it have something to do with Inscryption, or is it just something random?
No, it's just something else that's random. Just something else that I'm having to do, which is cool. I'm so glad I get to be a part of things, and I'm needed to do things. I guess that's how life and work.
Yeah, voting is fun. I love it. So I'm going to start with you. You're going to tell me why you picked Inscryption, your history with it. Just you're giving everyone a pitch of your, this is why Inscryption is cool, and I think I brought it and it should be on the list. And then you're going to give me where you think it deserves to go on the tier list. That can change by the end of the episode. We have some wiggle room, but why did you pick it? What's your history? Where do you want to start placing it on the tier list?
Okay, here's the thing. There's nothing that gets my biscuit or my roll butter, depending on where you're from. Whatever kind of bread you might get, you might put butter on to get it wet. Can I say wet on here? Is that too much?
I guess go right for it. It's all good.
Okay, cool. More than, when there's a game that's out there and everyone's talking about it and they're like, hey, don't look up anything about it. Just play the game. It's one of those experiences. That's all you got to say to sell me. So I really hope to God that games just don't start saying that, because then I'm just going to be like, it's that magical feeling's gone. But I love when everyone's don't look it up. So that's what everyone was saying about Inscryption. But I've seen a trailer or two. And I was like, I don't really like card games though. I don't play card games on my computer screen. If I'm going to play a card game, I'd rather just pick up real cards and play. Um, but I just kept hearing people talk about this game, like, and it's just one of those experiences you just can't. It's just wild and unexpected turns, and I'm like, okay, let me try it. So it's generally like really it's in my top 10. I haven't really figured out where. I need to just finally sit down and do my top 10 of all time, but it is in my top 10 of games of all time because it surprised me and kept me guessing from start to finish. It's more than just a card game, and if you're listening to this, yeah, I'm gonna avoid like deep spoilers. I'm gonna try to. We're gonna try to, right? I don't
Oh,
want to
once
spoil
we
anyone.
talk about it, then we can talk about whatever. But for right now, yeah, keep it light if you like to. Yeah.
Okay, okay. But it is more than a card game. It's a roguelike card game that the art style, the little bit of a horror element, puzzle style, mystery, ambiance, atmosphere, and it's so weird. It's bold. It's sort of meta, and that kind of shit just, like I said, just butters my roll. So I ended up really playing it a lot, and I ended up loving the card game aspect of it, believe it or not. So, yeah,
All right, very
it's a
cool.
great experience.
I'm with you on that. I have no idea. Where did you first hear about this video game? Who brought it to your attention?
I don't think it was any specific who. I just remember it came out. Like I saw the trailer. I'm like, I like the art style. You know, that sort of like old, pixelated, washed out, sort of like 1990s graphics. Um, I liked how that looked, and I just remember people talking about it, and like as I feel like I heard multiple people just start saying like, "Hey, it is something. It is more than what it is. Don't look up anything." And it wasn't a specific person. I wish I could say like it was this person, but it was just the general audience responding to it, and that's when I was like, okay, before I spoil myself, let me try to play this game.
Okay, because I was leading towards the thing. I don't know if it's true. We have a friend group that me and you both share. Even though I'm not allowed to be in the secret text group, that's fine. It's okay. Where I know Chad is in it, and Matt and Dallas, and all of them played Inscryption. Like, oh, that's so cool. But it was me who played Inscryption when it launched. I kept telling them they need to play it. They ignored it, played it the next year, and said it was Game of the Year the following year. But I'm like, I literally told you about it last year, and they tried to pretend it wasn't. So I'm curious if it was secretly me because I was telling the friend group. I'm just trying to give myself credit for something. It's probably not true, but
I mean, if I would have been a part of that conversation, I would have listened to you and played it. I would have. I wouldn't have just shrugged it off, you know. Um, but I played it like right when it came out because I had to
okay.
play on PC.
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah.
Okay, we were both there at the beginning. Okay, very cool. So you're a real one, unlike Chad.
Yeah. Get them out of here. How would you not? How would you skip a whole year and not play an Inscryption? So, like, what's wrong with you?
Awful.
Give it a shot.
I will go ahead and ask you then. Again, this can change at any moment. It's not a big deal. Where do you want to place it on the tier list? You have S, A, B, C, and D. I will explain those. As just for anyone listening who doesn't have to listen in front of them, I will explain where you decide to slot it at and what the description for that is. But where are you thinking you want to stick it on the tier list at the moment?
Obviously, personally, it's an S tier game. But for the sake of as a video game and for this podcast, trying to be critical and take account where I don't even know it's Metacritic. I don't even know where it landed. I don't remember, but I know it's not a perfect game, so I can't tell it as S tier. But it is definitely A tier. That's what I'm going to say. I'm putting it at A tier.
Okay, for those who don't know, A is excellence in gaming, widely regarded as fantastic games most people would enjoy playing. This tier could represent personal favorites or games that stand out amongst the best in this genre or game of the year material.
Mm-hmm. I want to stick with that. I love it.
All right, sounds
where it
good.
belongs.
So as for me, I'm not going to place it in the tier list yet because things could sway my influence, but we talked about it a little bit. I'll do that later. But yeah, no, I played this game the second it came out just because I was like, oh, Daniel Mullins, that guy who makes those weird video games that are all over the place in meta. So just based on...
never played any other of it. I've never played any other games. Pony Island, whatever,
Yeah, Pony
and the
Island
other
is the
thing.
other one.
I've never experienced that. So I did not know what I was signing up for, by the way.
Which is the best way to go into it, not knowing that this person and their studio is actually insane. So I was in it beginning again. It sucked because it came out in December, but I was still like, this is game of the year. Like, I loved it. I put it on top of my list. Again, I was at that point, unless you played it on PC for 2 weeks before people were talking about game of the year, it would be hard to get on there. But I was into it from the beginning. I've played it on PC, played it on Xbox. You know, anytime it came out somewhere, I would replay it and enjoy it. So yeah, I've been there since the beginning. And my thoughts are probably pretty positive, but we will talk about that later. So quickly, before we get into spoiler stuff, I have a short overview of the game pulled directly from Wikipedia, my favorite website. Inscryption is a 2021 roguelike deck building game developed by Daniel Mullins Games and published by Devolver Digital. Inscryption blends various genres, including deck building, roguelike turn-based strategy, escape room, puzzle, and adventure, while drawing inspiration from, among others, tabletop role-playing games, board games, horror, vlogs, and found footage. That is a crazy description, and it is exactly what the video game is. All right, we're going to move into our main section of the podcast. Spoilers can happen here, so everyone be aware. Spoilers for Inscryption could happen any moment, but this is where we talk about the video game Inscryption. Whatever part you want to talk about it, however you want to go from here, the floor is yours. We can talk about any and everything.
Well, I mean, like, setting the stage for the game itself, like, it is a roguelike card game. So, you know, for me, for someone that doesn't play a lot of card games, like, at first glance, obviously we don't know the rules when we're introduced to a new card game. So I was wondering, like, how bought in would I be to the gameplay, like, core mechanics of this experience? And that's where my biggest concern was, like, will I enjoy this? Is my money well spent? Because will I enjoy playing this card game? But I feel like the game does a really good job of teaching you how to play. And I swear to God, like, I know whoever's listening, you might know me, you might not know me, but if I can learn to play and kill at this game and just fucking crush it, anyone can enjoy this card game. Just roguelike, card-like. Is it a card-like? Is that a new term?
Yes. I mean, it's a lot of likes. There's a lot of things that this thing is
There's a lot of likes.
Yeah.
You know, deck building. You can handle this game, I promise. And once you just understand some of the core mechanics, it's not too overwhelming. Like, I don't know, for you, like, do you remember having a pretty standout time, like, just playing the game for what the base foundation of what it is?
Yeah, I enjoyed just the basic. So there's a game that a lot of deck builders or roguelikes in general seem to take their influence from, which is Slay the Spire, which is straight up just anytime you play a rogue, and I don't know if this originated it, but it's the first time I saw it. Anytime you play a roguelike game and it's like, oh, you beat this level, here's like a track, here's like multiple choices of a path to take, and then do that. That I first saw that in Slay the Spire. This game also has that. It's like, beat the battle, go this way or that way, and you see where it ends up if you follow this different path. And then the actual card game itself, they ease you into it. It's fun because they ease you into mechanics, and then they're also easing you into story. Because at the beginning, I think it's just blood, right? It's just the sacrifice squirrels for blood. We don't get to, it goes places, but it's like, hey, here's a simple enough thing. Can you figure it out? And if you fail, it's like, okay, that's fine. Just do another run, and then maybe we'll add on to it. So I think it eases you in. It's not a hard time, but I do enjoy, just like playing Casey's mod, which is, I'm not going to necessarily get on to that, but that's just playing the video game. And like, I love that because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just play this card game all day. So I think it's simple enough, but there's enough depth to it whenever you get farther along, and it allows you to be like, okay, can you handle this? Can you handle that I'm into? And we're not even talking about the other deck types besides the blood and the bones. Like, there's more stuff after that, which is like, okay, yeah, they let you go in, and it's good. It's well designed, is what I would say.
Agreed. Here's the deal. Another, direction if we want to go is just like the tone of the game, the design. Like, I'm immediately, like, I love playing scary games. I love playing games where I'm trying to figure out something, a little bit of a mystery. And like, although you're just playing a card game at a table, but you're like, you start the game in this like creepy ass, like creaky ass cabin. It was a cabin, and like, there's weird stuff on the walls. I feel like there's some eyes that are staring at you at some point, and a lot of visual cues that, just don't make sense. It's a big question mark for what's actually happening. And I love that. Like, I'm also a big fan of we don't get to this till later in the game, but like you're like, why is this a found footage? Like, why is that mentioned in the title or in the description? And you're just like, what? But that's one of my favorite genres, and I love that kind of like meta approach to games when a game can take you outside of what it actually is, and just I love being freaked out to that extent. So there are some vibes to this game that create that atmosphere. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite things about the game, honestly, besides the card game just being fun, is just like the music, the atmosphere, the characters. Like I hear in my head right now getting to, I don't know how. Here's the deal. I've never said a lot of the character names out loud. So like
Yeah.
Leshy, Leashy,
Leshy is what I would
Leshy.
go with. Because I think
It's
you
like,
find a Leshin in The Witcher, and I'm assuming it's the same creature, so I'm assuming it's Leshy. Yeah.
yes. You're right. I haven't really thought about that. Yeah, same. I guess it's like another mythical mythical woodland creature.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, that's what it is. I could just hear those theme songs to those characters, and the soundtrack is just chef's kiss. So good.
I also love how the game, again, it starts as a card game, and it's all spooky, and like some of the cards look weird, and they start talking to you, and it's all like, or no, they start talking to you, and then later like their card art changes randomly, and it's like, I don't know why the stoat looks like a box now. That's interesting. But there comes a certain point, maybe it's after the first boss. I don't remember exactly when it happens. When
I think so, right?
Do what now?
Like when you start seeing the no, that's. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, I don't remember all that. When stuff happens as you progress. But I think it's after you beat the first boss in the game, and then you could probably die soon after that. Unless she's like, all right,
Yeah.
take a break and stand up. And it's like, oh, I can get up and I can walk
Yeah.
around the room now. And that's where it's like, oh, hey, it's a card game. It was a roguelike, but also, there's horror themes. But also, it's an escape room because you can literally go around the room. There are little puzzles within the room based on, different pay attention to like, oh, the time on this, or if you look in the instruction manual of the game, like the help options, there's like numbers written down randomly on different pages, and you use those numbers, or you replace your eyeball with another eyeball, and now you can see stuff in the room you couldn't see before. And it's like, this game is awesome. Like they just keep throwing everything at you. But then Leshy's always sitting on the other side of that table in the dark, waiting for those hands to stretch out and get you. But I'm like, oh yeah, this game has all of it. And this is before you even beat the first section of the game, where you're just walking around, finding stuff, putting weights and getting squirrel totems and all. It's wonderful.
It does a really good job at like, obviously as you're progressing and like finally, I found myself getting lucky sometimes, thank God. But as you're progressing, getting the bosses and getting closer and closer to the end of what you might think would be the run, in this experience, it does a good job getting you there and then just flipping you upside down. And I think that's where the true magic of this game really comes to life, is after you figure out how you're going to get out of the cabin. I guess you don't figure out how to get out of the cabin. You get out of the cabin.
Which is
it's just
crazy
like
that you think that this is the whole. I mean, you could spend like 6-8 hours just doing that part of the game before you even.
I'm pretty sure I did too. It took me a while. Not saying it's difficult. It is challenging. I still believe any gamer can handle it. If anything here is appealing to you, I think anybody can handle the card roguelike elements of it all. But I remember the trailers, like you only see, obviously they did a good job like hiding like there's more to the game. But all you know is this creepy ass cabin and this guy with his creepy teeth and stuff grabbing you. You don't really know what else is there. So I'm like the whole time thinking, am I about to beat this game? Is it over?
Not necessarily, not even close, really. I do also like how it starts to help you even more, and then weaves the story into it. Because whenever you die at a run or you lose, Leslie's like, all right, sorry, but I got to take your picture now. And it's like, I guess this is killing me by taking my picture. But then you can just start making absolute just bullshit cards with that mechanic.
I sort of forgot about that. Yeah.
You can make some of the, because it's just like, all right, I'm going to take your picture. And then you just get random things you can put into that card. Where it's like, okay, this card costs 1 blood and has, 7 attack and 7 defense because it's just my dead, it's Adam. He's dead, but he's a really good card if you use him. So, yeah, they just keep throwing stuff. The boss fights are also cool where you're fighting. In the beginning, you have the miner, you have the trapper, and the fishermen, I think, are the three
Yes,
ones.
that's it.
Okay, yeah.
Fisherman, yeah, his
With the
hooks.
big
I remember
hook.
his hooks.
Yeah,
Sharks.
obviously, like sharks are here all of a sudden. They're attacking sharks. Oh, it's so good and so creative. And like you said, there's so much to do. That you're unlocking story. All these characters are talking to you, and you get to the end of the game, and it's like, oh, this is it. It feels like okay, I'm about to face an impossible boss. But because the way that the roguelike structure is, you could again, like when you're making your own cards, you can just cheese the game, and it like lets you cheese the game. And he's like, oh wow, you're actually beating beating me very easily here at the very end of the game. This is unexpected. Um, and that's awesome. And all of that, if that was the full game, that would be perfect. But Jericho, there's more,
There's more.
which is crazy. And this is where we get to my favorite part of this game. Over the gameplay and all of that. Again, you beat the boss. You're like, I'm finally escaping. I'm out of the escape room. We're great here. And it pulls back to a camera filming a CRT screen, and it's like, "Hey everyone, I'm the Card Gamer 69 on YouTube," and that's not his real name. He's got a real name. It's like the Carter, something like that. It's corny.
Yeah, Mr. McCarter. I don't know, something dumb, but
And you were playing as a person who found an old floppy disk video game and has a YouTube channel. Which again, I love this fact that YouTube channel is a real YouTube channel that was up before the game came out. So if you just happen to stumble across it, you could be like, what is this weird card dude? What is going on here?
I love a good ARG, and I hate when I can't. And I feel like most of them, I'm never a part of it when it's happening. It sucked that I missed knowing more before I headed in. But I wonder if like were there any clues to that being connected? Like I don't know. I remember it's been a long time since I've like reviewed the story of this game. But I remember going on YouTube after like to find all the extra clues because there's some stuff I didn't necessarily get to, and I'm like, at this point I gotta move on. So I looked up a few differences, like or a few other floppy disk files or whatever you might uncover, and I was just like, that's when I learned that there was an ARG and like a whole YouTube channel was already designed for this, and I was like, damn, did they tell anyone about this, or were they just it's just added bonus if you find it? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've never been a part of actual ARG stuff, but so you can eventually like start going through his like files that maybe he hasn't actually posted to YouTube, which is so funny because it's just like him on a green screen, but he hasn't done any of like the chroma key work or whatever. But there are apparently, again, I didn't see this when I played. If you pause it at certain moments, there's like little QR codes, I think, that take you to places and show you more stuff. It's so much deeper than even I went, and I'm with you. I just enjoyed it and like found YouTube videos afterwards, but there's so much nonsense, and then it's like this has nothing to do with a card deck building roguelike at all. But it's like,
No.
yeah, this guy making this YouTube video, and then like, is there a government agent finding him, and he found a pack of cards at a garage sale, and then there's coordinates to a thing buried in the woods, and it's just like, what is this? And all of it was just for him to like, because again, he makes card game YouTube videos, and he's like, all right, let me follow this thread and see where it goes. And it goes into 3 very different, very crazy places. And this is my favorite part of the game, without a doubt.
Same. I think that was when I was just, obviously, I feel like I got up and I was just like, oh my God, what's happening? This is cool. And just like trying to not, because I really, after I got to that point, I was like, my girlfriend's going to have to play this game. And I'm just like, oh my God, I want to talk to someone about that. I had no one to talk to about this game. And it was when I was playing it. So it was a big struggle trying to be like, oh my God, is anyone else experiencing this?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It is crazy. And I think it's so cool. So I want to talk about what some people find as like the one negative point of this game. I personally don't, but the middle section of this game. So again, we start off in Leshy's cabin. That's the whole first third of the game or whatever. Weird things happen with the game. All of the characters are actually alive, like trapped in a digital cyberspace, whatever. That or not, it's not important. The game gets reset and recreated, and now we have like this 8-bit RPG sort of a thing, which at the time I thought was cool because I liked playing the Yu-Gi-Oh games on Game Boy Advance. And I'm like, this just reminds me of playing Yu-Gi-Oh on Game Boy Advance. But apparently, a lot of other people think the middle section of the game is not so good. How did you feel?
I think at first I was a little thrown off because like the whole cabin experience was just so good and just so moody and perfect for like my taste. So having it change to a completely new way of moving around a map, interacting with characters, like it's literally a redesigned game. Like that's what happens. The game gets redesigned. And for me, I was a little turned off by it at first, but at this point, I was just the fact that I'm playing a different looking redesigned video game, I'm still bought in, even though I'm not as attached to this next area as I was the first one. The core hard mechanics are still there though. Um, it's just how you get to point A to point B is a little different.
Yeah, we get entirely new deck types because, again, story stuff. They're basically 4 creatures who are alive in this floppy disk video game who are fighting for power. Leshy, when you beat him, loses his power. They reboot it, and then it's like there's the wizard. The stoat is actually like a computer guy. The wizard's the painter. Leshy's
Yeah.
the stoat is the oh, there's a graveyard one. There's like a Grim Reaper.
And so that's like the little lady.
Yeah. And then at this point, they're like, "Oh, you got to fight all of us here, and then we'll figure out from there." So again, I like the idea that like, oh, there's 3 new decks that all play completely differently. I don't think you could really use those other decks once you get to the last part of the game,
Yeah.
as much. So like, you don't really mess with the wizard stuff at all, or as much. And again, this reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh, so I liked it. I can see the criticisms of people don't like it, but I thought it was fine, and it's not nearly as long as the other parts. One part I did like, again, we went a little meta here, where there was, in the Wizard's Tower, you got to do some weird puzzle about sound or whatever, and it's just like, oh, go in your sound settings, because there's something hidden in the sound settings. I'm
So
like,
glad you're bringing this up. Yeah. I was like, this is cool.
that's neat. That's cool. I like it. So, again, the second section of the game is my least favorite, but I still enjoyed it. I don't get as much hate, but again, I also wasn't seeing people talk about the game as much, so I was like, oh, I assume this whole game is good because I think it is. So that's just what I was thought.
Just the fact that it's happening to this extent, I'm like, okay, if I'm already been thrown that the game isn't just what I experienced, there's more to it. I'm like, okay, I literally cannot expect what happens next. Like I can't. So that alone is enough to keep me dialed in. And again, I don't remember the gameplay being too drastically different where I felt like this isn't fun to play anymore. Like I had never felt that at any point in this game. There's points I like more, I believe, but like not, I never wanted to put it down.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And again, at the same time as you're doing this, there's the real life story of this card guy trying to play this game. A seemingly government agent lady, I mean, it's just a lady in a suit, who knows where he lives, is coming, like, asking for it. So he's trying to, like, beat the game and get as much information out of it before, like, the government lady comes to hurt him or whatever he thinks is happening. Then eventually you beat that part of it. You go to the third section of the game, and old square box jerk-ass Stoat, who's actually the computer character, takes control, recreates the game again, and it's more similar to the first part, but now it's all set up in a factory, and you have to use the robot cards that you played with in the second area. And again, you get sort of the first area again too, but it's all remade in the Stoat's image, or I think his name's like PO3 or whatever it is. But
That's it. Yeah.
So then
I
we get a
remember
third
this
section
was
of
like
the
a
game.
mix. I figure this act is act 3. I guess it's 3 3 sort of sections. And when this happens, I do remember you can still move around a map, like, and try. It's a roguelike top down. I can't really think of like what else, like where you're still like going into rooms and areas and choosing your direction. But I feel like there was a little bit more exploration here, looking for items to unlock doors, and then at the same time you get to another area, all in the same experience, all in the same act, and it felt a little closer to home, is like moving around the cabin in different places. I'm trying to remember what the thing was, what took you from that map to like moving around an office or like a creepy room still. But there was a little bit of that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, once PO3 remakes the game and you're trapped in a factory now, and he's like, beat all my robots, and then I'm trying to do transcend, or he has a whole new plan, but it plays more like the first one where you walk around the factory and do that, and trying to stop him from transcending, which is, it's so, oh my god, the ARG.
Like whole Oh, sorry. Like building on top of all the things that we've experienced. That's where it sort of keeps me engaged because it's like it's in a smart way, like building on those mechanics and different types of environments that you were familiar with before. But yeah, Act 3 like combines them both to, yeah, like whatever the hell is happening.
Yeah, it gets great. And I do like the robot stuff. I like the way that you're like powering these like turrets and doing all that stuff. I think that's a fun um, a part of the game. So whenever we kind of finish up here, right, it comes to light that like, okay, PO3 is a bad guy. None of these other characters like him, and they're trying to stop him. So you get to the point where like it's an ultimate boss fight, and all the other ones are helping you to kill him, and they're basically like, we're just going to delete ourselves from existence because this guy is no good. And you kind of get like this big final climactic card game. I guess is what's really going on. And then the game seemingly ends with also the real life man making the videos seemingly murdered in his own house, and someone steals the disc that Inscryption used to be on. Again, what a wild video game where I'm
didn't know that was the adventure I was signing up for, you know?
Is absolutely wild. So I'm going to ask you if there's anything else, because I'm about to maybe kind of get to the end of wrapping up because we went over the story and talked about it. The ARG and what the video game is actually about is kind of insane to me and my favorite part of it. Before I get to that, is there anything else you want to talk about in this main section of the show?
Oh, one last thing I'll just sort of highlight that was a nice surprise and delight moment was it is in Act 3, but I feel like you're playing a supercomputer boss and like it like uses contents of your like, you know, I was playing on PC and then I played on PlayStation too, but like it uses the contents of your computer's hard drive and you got like your files and shit like showing up like actual file names. And I'm like, I feel so violated right now, but this is also very entertaining.
That's very cool. I always wondered how that worked on console because obviously on a computer it makes sense. It's reading like, what's it going to read off of a console? But I don't remember how that goes.
Like your friends list and like your friends thing. So like I would have like, you know, if you're friends with me on PlayStation, I'd like see your name show up for some reason. And like, yeah, it was cool. It was still a cool experience. I feel like it's even cooler on PC because it's like using like literally random files. And it's I was just like, what the hell? This is on my computer. Oh my God.
I think a fun thing,
my own files against me.
I love it. I think a fun thing you can do is like get like a really large like a PNG or like a 4K picture, and then like the file size is, you know, like 4 gigabytes, and you put it in there and it's like, what is going on? Because I think it's like, oh yes, it thinks it's in the 90s still, and it's like there's no way something could be 4 gigabytes. This is too big. I don't understand it, and it's just like the funniest thing ever.
It's and it's just jam packed full of those moments. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, then you beat the game and all that stuff. Yeah. So the thing I like about this, or I'm about to go on a wild ride, and this is a thing that this is full ass spoilers. I mean, we're here at this point. So when you look at like the full story in the ARG stuff, and I have to read this off of Wikipedia because trying to remember it all is crazy. The basic idea of what's actually happening in this game is that okay, Adolf Hitler had a card had a card game that he was also into the occult. Obviously, no, Indiana Jones, like he liked occult, he liked spooky stuff. There was a card game that he liked that thought could like summon spirits or, you know, occult stuff. So when the Soviet Union recovered Hitler's body, they took the cards he had in his pocket, which apparently are like these. They actually have occult properties, can actually do crazy things like that, right? The Soviets take that and they hide it on a floppy disk in like a mountain of floppy disks somewhere. Eventually Casey, which is, you know, the name from Casey's mod, also the garage sale you get it from, I think it's Casey's mom, because Casey dies in a fire, quote unquote, out of nowhere. So I think Casey hid it in a pack of cards. But the occult card game is on a floppy disk that Casey stole to hide from the Soviets. And then it turns itself into a video game because they're sentient. They're living creatures. They're not just numbers on a card or something weird. It's like, oh yes, this stuff Hitler was upset with, it is real. And this video game has now created itself because this occult stuff is true. And that's like the Soviets are looking for it. The government's looking for it. It's wild. That's like, everyone's after this cursed floppy disk. Yeah, I'm assuming you probably watched videos or whatever about that, but like, how And that's
Absolutely.
crazy.
I didn't get that from the game, but there are all the clues are there if you look hard enough, and that's what makes this game just really, really fascinating to me. Is that you could literally probably spend a whole year just if you didn't want to look up anything, just try to figure out what's going on or find more clues. There's just something around every corner, and I think that yeah, honestly, for me, I'm a little bit of a derp, and it seems like probably the majority of people playing this. Like, one, it's fun and cool, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look up on the internet, like, what just happened here? Like, why am I seeing these old pictures of this man that I don't know who he is and who's this company? Like, am I supposed to know this? But yeah, definitely had to look it up. So, and I remember this summary. You summarized it quite perfectly. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This last little sentence here on the Wikipedia is the funnest thing, which is, so again, the end of the game, PO3 is like, I'm trying to do transcendence, like whatever this means, this guy's trying to get himself out into the world. So again, this is the very end of the ARG explanation over on Wikipedia. It's talking about, like the epilogue and doing the ARG stuff. The video ends with a winking image of PO3, revealing that it survived the wipe of the floppy disk by uploading itself onto Carter's computer and succeeded in achieving the Great Transcendence, seemingly indicating that the real-life Inscryption game made available worldwide online was PO3's cursed version all along. So basically, the game you're playing on Steam was PO3 succeeding in his ability to transcend and break out of the floppy disk. So it's like, oh, the thing you bought, this is actually the cursed game as well. Like, what a crazy Daniel Mullins, what a crazy man,
I love it so much. Like, I just remember, creepypasta, reading stories on No Sleep. I love when anything like it's dealing with like your computer, things being hacked and sentient inside of your computer. I don't know why, I'm so fascinated and I love consuming that content. I love creepy technology stories. Black Mirror, one of my favorite shows. I haven't watched the latest season, but the first season, all killer, no filler, was so good. But I love this shit. It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. And again, even though we talked about it, I think just playing the video game itself is enough to still recommend this, even if you listen to this podcast. But getting into the story stuff, I'm like, that takes it above and beyond for me. That's excellent. So we're going to head and move into the closing part of the show. Here I would read any listener thoughts about what people out there think about the video game. Maybe that's impossible. Maybe some of these are pre-recorded and I could not tell it. No one even knows this podcast existed. Jerica, you in the past. See, now now this is meta. We're breaking the fourth wall. Nobody knows that this is uploaded yet except for you. And when it comes out, then everyone will know that the Carter was there all along. But so yes, in the future, you'll be able to tell us your thoughts on video games coming out on the podcast, and I'll read that here. So I'm going to now move on to our second screen here, where the official tier list appears on screen now, and we're going to officially put our votes in for where we think this game belongs. So again, in front of you, Jerica, if you want to scroll up, you have the rankings of what S, A, B, C, and D all mean. We've had a conversation. We've gone back and forth. Where do you want to place it? You initially said A. Do you think you're going to keep it there, move it up, down? What is your thinking, and why do you want to put it where you're about to put it?
I think I want to keep it at A tier. I think it's one of the most boldest, most innovative indie games I've ever experienced in my life. In terms of and I know it's not my list, but I would hope that majority of video game reviewers and critics and the general audience can agree with me. There's nothing like it. If you can get beyond I don't know if, this is where I think where it's not on S tier officially, for real, would be the type of game it is and just how weird it gets. I feel like some of the storytelling, the place where the game changes could throw some people off of it. But I feel like if you are appreciating what it is and go and just be okay to be along for the ride, I think the payoff is definitely worth it. So I can see where it's not perfect, but at the same time, that experience to me makes it perfect, But I got to sort of hold back a little bit because I think the game might be a little too hard. It might be a little unsettling to folks. It might be confusing. And you sign up for a roguelike card game. I mean, you play the trailer, you know what you're signing up for, but then it turns into something else. Not saying it's false advertising, because I'm glad they kept the secret from us. but it is designed to truly confuse you and make you feel something weird. And it does that. So maybe that's why I think that is why I can't give it the S tier ranking, but I can give it the A tier ranking.
I respect it, Jerica. You were the first person that I've recorded with who has not placed their own game in S tier. Obviously, that makes sense. Like, if you're bringing a game, you probably like it a lot. But the thing for me is, again, I adore this game. I gave it Game of the Year when it came out. The thing for me for S tier is that this little part in here that I added. So S tier is a masterclass in gaming. This tier represents an all-time great, something easily recommended to all gamers, pinnacle of his genre, top 25 of all time, or near perfect. Could describe game's place tier. I adore this game. I love it. It's so good. I think that some of the critiques that, like, some people don't like the middle act. Okay, that's fine, whatever. It is a very specific game that I love. Like, I love roguelikes. I like deck builders. All that is great. But when I think, do I put this as top 25 of all time? It wouldn't make my personal top 25 of all time list. It would probably...
Dang, dude. What's wrong with you? Why did I even do this?
I hate video games.
I'm going to cancel. I'm leaving. I'm just kidding.
Where's the thing, though? Is like, this would probably be in a top 50. Like, I adore this game. But to me, S tier...
It better be.
Yeah, oh, of course, yeah.
It better be.
To me, S tier has to really, really, really mean... To me, this is just a thing I'm keeping myself to. I don't care what anyone else says. They can do whatever they want. You can put it in D tier. I couldn't argue with you. It's fine. But I'm right there with A. Like, I adore this game. I think it's great. It was definitely Game of the Year. It is a very particular game for very particular sickos, but I'm one of those sickos, so it works for me. But I just don't think I could recommend this to absolutely everybody and would put this as, like, one of the best ever made. Personal favorite? Absolutely. Don't argue that. So I'm going to agree with you and also put it in the A tier. So there you go. Jerica from JK Games and Adam from the Tier List Podcast both have this game as an A-tier video game. So now...
Do I win something for matching with you? Is that a game in itself?
Yes.
Is there a game where we match?
First time it's happened, by the way. Just shout out.
I want a prize.
I will...
I want a big water bottle like you got. Massive. Gives me carpal tunnel. That's what I want.
I'll give you a water bottle that destroys your joints. I got you. No problem.
Yeah.
So now, this is called to the audience. Everyone out there watching and listening. If you're like, they're crazy, it's S tier, or they're... insane, it's dog water, that should be D tier. You have a chance to make your voice heard. So again, everyone out there, you can vote on your placement of this game based on your personal feelings or what we've talked about here today. Again, in the description, there will be a straw poll, which you can vote until the end of the season where you think it deserves to be, or you can go to patreon.com/thetierlist and also place a free vote there as well. So at the end of the season, I'll tally up all those votes and the audience gets a vote or say so about its placement as well. So right now we have 2 A's. So depending where the audience goes, if they go lower, if they go higher, it might change where it ends up at the end of the season. But for right now, that's what we have. So just make sure to check out that description down below and get yourself a vote, make your voice heard. You won't have to get a text message from me personally, but you should vote on where you think this game belongs.
I might send you an email that takes over and hacks your computer, though, if you don't vote. And then if you vote in a way that hurts this ranking for this game.
Say, but if it like...
I'm going to make Inscryption 2. That's going to be the game.
Oh, yeah. But if it gives you like little quips and he's like a little smart ass, I won't be mad at him. That's fine. I like that guy. So yeah, make sure to vote and make sure your voice are heard. Jerica, again, thank you once again for coming on, being one of the inaugural guests on this here podcast. Again, give all your plugs and do whatever else you talk about.
Disclaimer, sorry that I just randomly talked about a friend that I haven't actually seen in forever for way too long at the beginning. I can't wait to tell my friend Haley that I've talked about her now twice on a podcast about a game she has no interest in playing.
Shout out to Haley.
Great. Shout out to Haley. You know, she's been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption. She's obsessed with that game. She does play games, so it's still in the wheelhouse of the content I create. There I did it again. Way too much info. I'm Jerica, one of the hosts from JK Games. You can find us at JK Games Podcast pretty much everywhere, including I guess this is going to be on YouTube. You can find us here. Please join us because we do the video game book club, the video game club, and we can't wait to kick off the new year with a brand new game. We don't know what it is yet. Stay tuned, but we'd love for you to play along with us and join us in that conversation, which we do every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central. So that'd be fun. We want to see you. And I'm at Jericachu, like Pikachu, but jerk in front of it. You know, that's just how creative I am. So yeah.
Oh, appreciate it.
Find me.
Once again, jerking at you or whatever. What was the joke about it? Jerking.
That's it. That's it. And I was like, I'm not going to make the joke this time. I'm trying to stop
okay,
doing
my
that.
bad for bringing it up.
I just really want to explain it. You know, it's not I'm not a jerk. I'm not jerking at you. It's just I have a niece that calls me Jerka. And then I was like, Jerica just rolls off the tongue really well.
Perfect. It's perfect. Very good. Again, you can find us here at patreon.com/the tier list. There's a free tier or just a couple bucks if you want to support. Make sure to sub on YouTube as your podcast services. Leave a 5-star review. All that good stuff. Help your boy out. Get out there in the algorithm, and then I won't have to send the stoat after you, and everything will be just fine. All right. Thank you once again, Jerica, and have a good one, y'all.